Well, welcome to College Algebra. This is Jared Daly, the instructor for College Algebra at North Platte Community College. And I've got to show you some things so that you know what you're doing. Hopefully you've found your way into Blackboard. I suppose you couldn't watch this video unless you had. So we'll go directly to Blackboard here. In Blackboard you should be taken to this page here, which would give you your syllabus. You'd be able to download your syllabus here and read the stuff you want to know about the class, and if you want to pass, you want to know this stuff. And then you've got these buttons over here where you can go to watch some math lectures so you can learn the stuff you need to learn. We've got the practice chapters. Chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are together, since we kind of do those together in this class, and then chapter 8 down here. And you have all your videos in there that you need to watch. You need to update Flash players and Macromedia players and everything else. Make sure you can watch those. You have your homework and exams. If you hit that button in this class, it will take you to WebAssign, where we will be doing our homework in this class. It's an online homework system that allows you to enter in answers, and you get immediate feedback so that you can know how you're doing on a particular assignment as you're working on it. This is kind of how the page will look as you get into WebAssign, except that just before you get into this page, it will ask you for, if you have not purchased access to WebAssign yet, it will ask you to enter in your card access code. If you don't want to use an access code, you can call me and we can help you to purchase that directly online. It's a little cheaper to buy it directly from WebAssign, or you can get the access code at the bookstore. You'll also have a week or two, I think it's a 2-week grace period when the class begins, to buy that access code, and you can still do your homework. So you've got some time to work on that. Up here at the top, you've got your home page, which will take you here. You've got your assignments page, which will take you to your list of assignments, grades, communication, calendar, and ebooks. The book for this class is College Algebra by Alfman, Barker, and Nation, and when you buy access to WebAssign, it will give you access to the book online. Most of my students end up preferring the online book after they've used it for a while, and so I would recommend maybe not buying the print book if you don't really think you're going to need it. The online book is very useful. It has many features that help you to study. You can leave a bookmark, you can take notes in the book. Up here you've got some highlighters, and when you want to go back and look at your notes, you've got these tabs on the side. This tab here is my highlights tab. It tells me what I've highlighted, what color I've highlighted things in. I can go into there and I can see what I've highlighted, for example. There's just a lot of great great resources inside this book. While you're in the book, you can actually watch videos and little mini lectures and get help. They've got little buttons scattered throughout here. I can't seem to find one at the moment. But if I go to my contents page up here and click on a chapter, it'll actually show me all the things that are in the book, all the things that are in that particular chapter, for example, and other things like the summary and review exercise and so on and so forth. Sometimes they also include the media that's in the chapter, but it looks like I'm not getting lucky with that. But anyway, got lots and lots of resources within the book. You can also print off the book if you decide you want it printed. You can print it off. You can print the whole thing if you want. But anyway, lots of good resources in the book in the online book. So definitely explore that and learn how to use that. Also in WebAssign, you have two other very important things. You have a calendar here. If you click on this calendar, it'll tell you when homework assignments are due. So right here we can see that we've got some homework due for my physics class, which is not this class, of course. But we will have some homework coming up due in this class in, I think, September. So let's go to the next page. Go to the September page. And we should have a homework due here on Monday, but since the class hasn't started, they haven't posted that yet. The other thing that I would like you to note is that you've got this notifications button over here on the right-hand side. If you press that button, you can get email updates or email reminders when your homework is due. 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, 30 or 48 hours before the homework is due. And that is a great thing for students, but particularly if you're using a cell phone, because you can actually have this message sent to your cell phone. Right here, this is being sent to my email at dailyj@mpcc.edu, and you can edit that and change the email. And every cell phone has an email address. So if you just go online, go to Google, everybody's favorite search site. There we go. Go to Google, and if you put in text to email or email to text, one or the other. How can I send an email via text message or text to emails one way or the other? You get go out to one of these. Just pick one of these here. Any of them will work really, and they're going to have a list of what they call SMS gateways, which are essentially the email address for your phone. So if we go down this list, go down on this thing here, we'll find a list. This is not a very long list. There are others that are longer. But if you have Verizon, for example, you just put in your 10-digit phone number, 308-520, whatever it is, at vtext.com, and put that address in for your email address in WebAssign. And if you do that, then what you're going to get is you're going to get a text message every time your homework is due. So you just got to find the right one. It's different for every carrier: Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, so on and so forth. So you've got that option to send a text message to your phone if you want it, when you have homework due or a test coming up or whatever else. So let's take a look at what the homework's going to look like. I'm actually going to come out of the student view and go back to my. It didn't go back to mine. I didn't go back to mine. Let's go back to mine. Let's go back to WebAssign. Oh, now I got to sign in again. That's just great. So anyway, going back to WebAssign, if I go to, let's go to an assignment. We have several assignments actually in this class, and I'm going to, we'll probably have, we have an average, I think, 3 or 4 assignments a week, maybe 5 assignments a week at most. But the first 2 assignments, one is a practice assignment. I'm going to open this one up really quick. If I can do it right, here we go. Let's try it again. So here is what an assignment in WebAssign will look like. At the top of the page, you'll have this list of questions here, where you can go directly to one of the questions. We have 8 questions on this exam, or this in this particular assignment. So I can click on number 5. It takes me to number 5, and here they're just showing you how to use WebAssign. For example, if I click in this box, sometimes it'll bring up this thing called the MathPad, where I can use symbols like the square root, and I can type things under the square root, whatever I want to type under there, for example. There's also graphing problems, where we learn to graph things, and you have this graphing utility. And the way you do this is you just get down here and you start graphing things. Choose something to graph with. I'm going to graph a line between 2 points, for example. And there's just lots of things to explore, lots of things to learn about how to do things. There are also quite a few multiple choice type questions, but also quite a few random answer questions, or not random answer, but calculated answer questions. So here we have 1 plus 1, and of course if I put in 5 there and try to submit that, it's not letting me submit because I'm not actually a student. But if I try to submit that, it'll actually count it wrong, give you a red check, give you a red X. There we go. Here's a red X right here, and we want to get the green check mark to get it right, and you'll have several chances to get that right. I think I give you 5 opportunities to get it right on your homework. On the exam, I don't give you so much, usually about 3 chances to get it right. So also in the homework there will be feedback opportunities as well. They'll give you videos. You can chat with an online tutor. You can it'll take you directly to the part of the book that you're working in, and other things. So lots of opportunities to learn while you're trying to do your homework. The exams, of course, will require a password, so you will have to make sure that you get to me, the person who is going to hold your passwords. So that is done on this Proctor site form, and I want you to complete this and turn it in immediately, so that I can give your passwords to the correct person, so you can take your exams. You're going to choose one of the Proctor sites that we have, which are all of our different campuses. I think there's 6 of them. Or you can choose a separate Proctor, which we usually prefer to be some kind of a library or educational institution, an ESU unit, some school. and I need a name, I need an address, a name, email address, a phone number, so that I can contact them and get them to and get their information and get the information to them, I suppose. So there's lots of things for you to do at the beginning of the class, but the first homeworks are not due until 1 week later. 1 week into class, we have homework P.3, P.4, P.5. This is the practice chapter, and it is for extra credit, and it is the only extra credit that will be offered this semester. If you come to me late in the semester and say, can I do some extra credit? I'll say, well, we already offered extra credit at the beginning of the semester. So our first week of assignments is nothing but extra credit. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I would highly recommend it. Essentially what will happen is that at the end of the year, if you've done a homework assignment here, I will replace a later homework assignment that may have gotten a lower score with that score. And the same with the exam. If you did poorly on exam 2, for example, I might replace it with the score that you got on the practice exam. So this is a lot of review of polynomials and monomials and things like this. Stuff that you've hopefully learned before. And don't take it too seriously. And remember, it's review, so it's a lot of stuff in a quick hurry, a lot of stuff in a short time. It can be a little bit frustrating to do so many things in a short time, so don't fret it too much. It is just for extra credit. And we'll get started on chapter 1 in the second week of the term. You are allowed to have extensions on your homework due dates. They are automatic extensions that are given when the homework is due, when it's past due. It'll bring up a little box that says, do you want to extend this homework? If you extend the homework for an hour, it costs you 5% of the problems you haven't finished. For every hour that you extend it, you can extend up to 5 hours for a total of 25% off of the grade of the questions you haven't finished to that point. So keep that in mind. You do have that opportunity. Exams, I generally do not allow late exams unless you have some kind of a medical emergency. Usually that's usually what it takes. It's a medical emergency or a death in the family kind of emergency. And if it's a medical emergency, I will require that you have some kind of written note from a doctor or something like that. So that I can keep my records straight. What else do we want to talk about? I will leave messages both in Blackboard and on WebAssign. If I have a message for everybody in the class, I will put it in both places so that you can hopefully see it. In WebAssign, you will see it here on your home page under Announcements. Let's see if I can get back to that home page. Where is that home page? Student View. So things that I post for this class will be in my announcements, right? Also, after a couple of tests have gone by, we will start to post grades, so you can kind of see how you're doing. And generally, you can track yourself fairly well on WebAssign because everything is graded automatically, and you get some good immediate feedback that way. Going back to Blackboard, let's see. Let's go back a couple pages here. So going back to Blackboard, the announcements page is here on this announcements button. If you go to that button, it'll show you any announcements that have come up for the course there. Let's see. The grades will not be posted in Blackboard. I will not sync everything to Blackboard. It will just be in WebAssign. So make sure that you understand that. Just about everything will be done on WebAssign except for the videos that I've provided. Now let's see one more thing that we can see if there's one other thing we can look at really quick here. Actually, let's go back to the student view here. So in the student view, let's see. Did we look at everything here? The grades section. If we go to the grades section, we won't see anything at this point, but they will essentially have your averages posted up here and class averages and your overall grade. But the other way that you can look at your grades, kind of get a feel for how you're doing, is you can look at my assignments, and you'll have a list of your assignments here with the grades that you have on those assignments, so you know exactly how you did on each of those assignments, including tests. So that is what that is all about. That's everything there. Remember to go and read the syllabus in Blackboard so that you can get my email address and all the information about the course, how the course is graded. Let's actually go and take a look at that really quick. Hopefully I can get to it. Doesn't want to let me get to it, so let's get to it another way. Alright, the syllabus. So here's the syllabus for the class. This is college algebra, math 11 to 50, 3 credit hours. And here's my contact information, 535-3751. You can call 800 number. We've got a fax number, email. Class begins on the 26th. Class ends on the 19th, and you can drop the class up to the December 6th, I believe. My office is in the new Science Center here on South Campus in North Platte. 217 is my office number. My office hours are noon to 2 on Mondays and Fridays, 10 to noon on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and 2 to 3 on Wednesdays, but I'm usually around in my office in the afternoons. But if you need to get a hold of me, email is the best, so try to email me and we'll set something up. Course materials, there's the Alfman College Algebra book, of course, and you need to buy a WebAssign access card. We're going to use online materials for this class, so lots of videos and things like that. If you need to get help from me, feel free to call me or to email me. Most of the time I will just email a response back to help you out, but sometimes I'll post some mini lectures onto a website called EduCreations. And EduCreations is it's essentially an online whiteboard, you could think of it as. Let's see if I can go and get on to EduCreations here really quick. So EduCreations we have this, let's see, where's my class? College Algebra, I guess I didn't, there it is, 2013 fall. I don't have any lessons in here yet, but I'll add lessons from time to time. For example, let's take a look at a previous college algebra lesson from from spring 2013. So here are some of the lessons that I've posted. If you just click on it here, then you can actually play this lesson. And what it is it's a recording of me writing on a little whiteboard while I'm talking. And there's some sound that goes along with this. So there is my lesson. Now, it's not the best handwriting in the world, but I try my best. But every once in a while, that's how I'll answer questions for you, is I will send you a little mini lecture in EduCreations, and then I'll tell you to go and get it. To get into EduCreations, you're going to need to go to this website here, educreations.com, and you need to put in this /SR/94CC0C, and that will get you to my class, my particular class, and sign you into my class. And so you can just click on that in the PDF form that you bring up in Blackboard. Course requirements, we have this practice chapter, which is extra credit. We have homework, of course. Homework is going to be worth 30% of your grade, so it's important. Exams are worth 50% of your grade, also important, of course. We have professionalism as well, so in your communications with myself or other students, please be professional. I usually don't have to take any points away from anybody for that, but it's important to be professional when we're on an online course and communicating so much in so many different ways. Make sure that you fill out your proctor form before you take your exams. And I need to know who your proctor is going to be. I need that information right away so that we can get your exams taken. Anything 95% and up is going to be an A+. Anything 90% to 95 is going to be an A, and so on and so forth by a 5-degree scale. Makeup tests and makeup assignments. I'm generally a little more lenient with assignments than tests, but still I'm going to need notes from doctors for medical excuses and things like this. If you're going to miss a test and you know it beforehand, come and tell me, because if you come and say I went duck hunting or something and I missed my test, it's not going to happen. Now, technical issues, I went to my proctor and the power was out or something else happened, the passwords weren't working, our internet was down, we're going to help you out with that. But make sure that you tell me right away and get your proctor to also email me so that we can be on the same page. Also, your 3 lowest homework scores will be dropped to allow for a little bit of absence and everything else. If you need to withdraw from class, go ahead and talk to the front office. They'll help you out with that. If If you're not sure if you need to withdraw, talk to me and we'll help you decide if that's the best thing for you, if we can get you fixed up. I'm not asking anyone to sign this contract. In fact, sign this syllabus as a contract, because it's not a contract. I often change my syllabus. Usually the thing that changes in my syllabus is the schedule. Every once in a while something happens during the school year that messes up something and we have to change the schedule. Now, it doesn't happen very often in an online class since this isn't on campus, but just, be aware of that. Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, I will try to keep your information as private as possible. If there's a concern with that, you can bring it to me or anyone else in the front office, and they will point you in the right direction. Students with disabilities, if you have a disability that you need to have that met, have some needs met, you need to self-report to the front office. We have the numbers here for those people that need to be talked to about that. So, that is the syllabus. Make sure you go in and read that carefully, and if you have any questions, please contact me as soon as possible. I think that's everything that I have for you, so good luck in the course. Glad to have you here. Enjoy, and we'll talk to you during the semester.